Alright, but have you heard this one though? Death, death to the IDF, 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 death, death to the IDF.
Well, UK police have launched an investigation into two controversial sets at Glastonbury Music Festival. The punk duo Bob Vylan have drawn fury from Parliament and Jewish groups after chanting "Death to the IDF."
No more music, just sweaty car journeys and hangovers for those leaving Worthy Farm. But nothing in comparison to the mother of all headaches facing the BBC. With police now launching a criminal investigation after reviewing footage broadcast from Glastonbury Festival this weekend. It comes after the Prime Minister and media watchdog Ofcom asked why whoever was running this live stream didn't pull the plug on it.
The biggest scandal here is the fact that the BBC actually aired this. You know, this was a surprise to no one. We've known that Glastonbury over the years invites a certain type of person, usually a very young, left-leaning, quite naive of the world individual whose politics are questionable. We've always known this. We've known for years when Stormzy decided to stand up on stage and start swearing at Boris Johnson and encouraging the crowd to swear at their then Prime Minister. But it's the fact that the BBC didn't foresee this sort of behavior that people find astonishing. You know, we've seen riots and protests on the streets of London basically since October the 7th. We've seen the behavior of people that feel quite incensed by the situation going on in Israel and Gaza, and yet our national broadcaster did nothing to prevent it. They had, the audacity to air a bunch of people basically saying death to the IDF and a bunch of other anti-Semitic things, much to the horror of tens of millions of people in this country that are paying the license fee and wondering, what are we getting for our money? You know, a lot of broadcasters sensibly would actually create a delay in the broadcast so that if they see this sort of thing, that they would actually be able to stop it. But the BBC didn't do that, and they then came out with a groveling apology, as they usually do when they've been proven to fallen asleep at the wheel, and then said, oh, actually, you know what, we're not going to make this available on catch-up, as if that's supposed to make the situation better. We know what to expect from people from Glastonbury. We know that their IQ and their level of political knowledge is not probably where the rest of the public's is. We know that they're a bunch of young, easily manipulated people. They're a bunch of Greta Thunbergs that find a new grievance to get excited about every week. But it's the fact that the BBC, the adults in the room, lack the editorial foresight to actually see this happening and be able to stop it, because this is an embarrassment. It's completely embarrassing that this is happening here in the UK, and the Western world are watching what is actually happening to this country.